Hello, that's BD outside. BD and Scooter. Scooter watching out for me over there. This is one of those evenings. It's been real hot, but it clouded up a little bit. August the 30th, I believe, 2024, and me and Scooter over at the pond feeding the fish. We last year we put in, how many we put in, Scooter? 150 channel cat, and then this year we put 150 more and 75 or 100 crappie. And usually, it's gonna sound silly if you had never done it, but you can tell a difference between the brim eating and the catfish eating. The brim will come up and kind of from underneath, where the catfish, if you saw that one kind of flip over, the catfish will kind of do a little flip over when they come and eat. There was one right there, was a catfish. And then every once in a while, when the brim get distracted, you'll see a big old bass go through there and he'll cut a trail. I saw a bass the other afternoon right down there in that corner, come plumb out on the mud, chasing minnows. And I didn't realize, a lot of people, I'm sure most people knew, but I didn't. The water's kind of low. You can see right, you kind of see it right there. There's a barrel in there, and I got one in each corner. Got 4 of them out there, and I did not realize for years that catfish don't bed like most other fish. You can see down in this corner right here with the water low, we hadn't had rain in a while, there's all kind of beds in that mud bottom there, and the brim really bed heavy right in there on that low place. But catfish don't bed like that. Catfish will go into a log, a hole in a rock or whatever, and they'll go in there, and the female will go in there and lay the eggs, and then the male will go in there and fertilize the eggs. And I think the male stays in there and kind of watches, be sure don't let it eat the babies up or whatever. But in a pond, most of the time, unless you've specifically fixed something, you don't have many holes or logs or, holes in rocks or things for them to go in. And so if you don't provide something, your catfish are not going to raise well. I'm not saying they won't raise. Don't fuss at me. There's catfish right there. I'm not saying they won't raise. They won't raise well, or as good as they could, as good as they will if you'll provide them. And what I did, I had a couple of barrels, and I just cut a hole in the end of one end of the barrel, and on the other end I drilled 3 or 4 water holes and put some gravel in there and sunk them, and just waded out in there about chest deep and sunk them down there. Usually you can't see them. This one on this end, this is a little shallower down here. You can see that one. But I did, and I'm hoping, because we stocked this pond years ago when I was a kid, and over the years we have really had a ball. If nothing else, a lot of times me and the kids just come over here and feed the fish, and a lot of times my little buddy Eli, my grandson, my oldest grandson, I got 2 now, got Eli and Noah. Noah's not hardly old enough to feed the fish yet. He's just about a month old. But Eli's 4. And Eli loves to come feed the fish. And he likes catching them brim too. And one reason why I like keeping plenty of brim in there, a lot of people don't like brim in their pond. A little bit aggravating sometimes when you're trying to catfish and the brim keep nibbling at your bait. But if you got a 4-year-old and you bring a box of crickets, and as soon as that cork hits that water, a big old brim takes off with it, you'll see why you need brim in your pond. And we got some hoss brim in here. I mean, I'm 6'6" and grow about 275 and wear a double extra large in a glove, and I've caught several big as my hand. And I hadn't been, I just been putting them all back. I keep saying I'm going to keep some of the brim to eat. We used to eat a lot of catfish out of here, and then over the years, like I said, they just kind of dwindled down. Catfish right there. If you can see him flip. If you can see, let me see. Let me kind of watch here. Right there. That was a catfish. And the brim will come up from underneath and just kind of, you'll hear a little sucking sound, and they'll get it, but the catfish will kind of do a little flip. I don't know why. That's how they do. And don't ask me how I know, but I know. I've seen a bunch of them. That's the way they feed, I guess. And when they get big, I used to love to watch them. When they get big, that feed, they get up there and they open that old mouth up, and they just go across the top of the water like a bulldozer. Fun to watch them. You know, sometimes it's just little pleasures in life. A lot of days things will be hectic and crazy, and I come over here to the little old pond in the afternoon. I can usually always catch a bass or two, a brim, and it's not as far off the road and everything as I wish it was. The old road's over there, and they've built a new highway on the other side of us, and you can almost always hear traffic, but it's peaceful. You got enough trees around, you don't really, and it's far enough over here behind the house. You just kind of get away from everything a little bit. I keep it clean around the edges. On this end where we fish, mostly because this end's usually in the shade, I keep it real clean. Where when Eli's over, we ain't got to worry about him stepping on a snake or something. That side over there is a little boogery. It's got several places where the banks kind of fell in, and you can't hardly get the mower around there, but I've tried to trim around there a little bit. I'm going to try to clean that up. But I keep that side down there where I got another chair, because another good shady spot. There's several pairs of doves coming in to get water. Like I said, boy, it's dry. There ain't very many puddles. A lot of the creeks are plumb dry, and some of the smaller ponds are dry. This pond is way down. That's a pretty good catfish right there. I believe before it gets too cool, I believe we'll have some nearly eating size this year. Almost, probably, maybe. Little smaller one's a little better to eat than the old big one, but anyway, I just thought I'd make a little video here. Me and Scooter were sitting around feeding the fish. Scooter, he's helping me. He always watches for me. Keeps a lookout. Nobody sneak up on me. All right, it's about time to go to the house. Miss Natalie probably have supper ready in a little while. BD out.